What's up, y'all? It's Dark with DLD After Dark. So today we have another ATF leak. Get ready for it, y'all. Okay, so about a week ago, I put out a second ATF leak. Now we get an additional ATF leak. So last week we talked about how the ATF, the BATFE, was going to double in size. Now, when they say they're going to double in size, all they had said was that over the next 5 years, they were going to double from 1,700 special agents, like armed special agents, field agents, to 3,400 and some change, almost 3,500 field officers. Now, some other stuff came out too, that they were misappropriating funds, that they were taking taxpayer dollars, and yada, 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 all this stuff. But one thing we did not have any clarity on is how they were going to do this, and what their plan was specifically. So here it is. Number one, John Crump is the one that breaks all these stories. John Crump is the one that has all this information. He has sources inside a lot of these places that I don't want to say. But if you're looking for more information, if you want to go to the source of the information, then go sub to John Crump. He's got two channels, John Crump News and John Crump Live. The news channel is where he breaks everything. The John Crump Live channel is where he does interviews with people all over the world, really. Really cool people throughout the gun culture, community, whatever. Jazz hands. Okay. So recently, AMLAN News ran an article talking about how the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives plan to double in size. Now, due to a new leak obtained by AMLAN News, aka John Crump, we know part of the expansion plan. And I wonder whose money they're going to use to do this. And this all kind of comes together as a big picture of tyranny and evil, maniacal plans. So, effective October 31, the ATF will be establishing 4 new branches. The new branches will be Firearms Enforcement Officer Development Branches, as they call FEODB. It's like FEODB or something. They love their acronyms. And 4 Field Response Branches, FRBs, of course. The newly announced additions will be part of the Firearms Ammunitions Technology Division, or FATD. I think the ATF should really take a lot of time just focusing on the FATD. If there's one specific thing they can do, it's to try new things with the FATD in every possible way, with one FATD. Moving along. And the Officer of Enforcement Programs and Services, which they broke down to an acronym, which is EPS. The FRBs, this is so crazy, the Field Response Branches will be broken up into 3 regions. This is big breaking news. East, West, and Central. Interesting how they broke that up here. Maybe like one per time zone just was too much. Or there's so little crime going on that they could just take 2/3 of the country with one new branch. I don't know. Each FRB will be responsible for the administration, the oversight, and management of the Firearms Evidence Officer Regional Field Response Program. These new field offices with regional FEOs are a departure from the current FEO setup. So right now, all FEOs work out of Martinsburg, West Virginia. If you have ever submit a paperwork for a Form 1 or a Form 4, or if you're an SOT, if you're familiar with, I think it's 244 Needy Road, West Virginia. There you go, if you didn't know. So all of them currently work out of Martinsburg, West Virginia. The new setup would have FEO permanently assigned to regional offices across the country. FEOs examine evidence in criminal and civil cases for the FATD, Firearms Ammunitions Technology Division. For example, an FEO looked at the rare breed trigger and determined it to be a machine gun. He sure could have used one fat D. Oh, he was part of the fat D. They're all part of one big fat D. Now I get it. Okay. Thank God for the acronyms. Okay. The FEO will be a mix of current FEOs and new hires. So current field officers and new hires. The new employees will be assigned to one of 7 hubs. The West Branch will consist of hubs in Seattle, Denver, and Las Vegas. Sounds like places they've already taken and are trying to take. The East Unit will include offices in Chicago, Kansas City, and Dallas. Dallas to be the first to open up, by the way. The final hubs will be in the East and consist of Atlanta and Martinsburg. Really? Just the 2? Dallas will be the first hub to roll out during the second quarter of 2022. This is just coming up beautifully. The ATF says it needs regional hubs to assist in identifying criminal firearms and ammunition violations within a field division or office. The Bureau also states that FEO will now be able to provide scene assistance, rapid scene assistance, when the ATF executes a search warrant, raids, in a timely manner. The ATF says the new setup will save the government money. We'll save the government money. Watch how we do this. According to the document, one regional FEO, like one federal agent here, cost the government approximately $21,500. Well, that's not bad at all. $21,500 is like nothing, right? It's peanuts per year, minus a leased vehicle, travel costs, and TDY expenses. An FEO at Martinsburg cost the ATF $30,500, with travel costs added into the equation. The cost model, with all costs for the pilot programs, shows that each FEO will cost, in their proposal that they gave to the United States government, they had said that it would cost $21,500. Currently in Martinsburg, that costs $30,500. Well, after you add everything up, it comes out to $104,316. So likely what they did is they took the actual cost, which is the $104,316, and then they took out what the American taxes pay for, and then they said, oh, hey, government, this is only your bill. This is what it costs. This is your bill. It's like what insurance does, kind of, right? So I can picture they just played with the numbers just to make it look better, which is significantly higher, obviously, than the $30,500 or the proposed $21,500. None of these costs include the salaries of the FEOs. Beautiful. And if they make $100,000 and leap pay, which they'll likely make as well, that would be $125,000 right there, in addition to the $104,316. This is a big investment we're looking at here. The FEO development branch will be set up to help new FEOs in the field. Well, that's kind. The field offices navigate the training. They will also provide the administrative function and efficient management of the FEO professional career training plan of the new offices. The ATF lists the disadvantages of the change as none. In quotes, they said that the disadvantages to following through with this plan, this expansion plan, is 0. Like you would leave, like you know when you're like writing a paper or something, you're like, man, I know this is a shoo-in, but like I gotta write one thing, at least one thing. What's the downside to your idea? Nothing. Nothing at all. All right, sounds good. Let's do it. What is concerning is that the ATF uses the base cost per regional FEO with no expenses included. None. No expenses, no vehicle, no travel, no salary, all of that. And includes expenses when looking at the yearly cost for an FEO at Martinsburg. When all costs are calculated, the regional FEO assignment is significantly more expensive than having all the FEOs under one roof. That isn't even considering the cost of all the new employees needed to support, because they have to get support staff behind every new field agent that they hire, including the employees required to run the new developmental branch, of course, because they need to develop the developers that are developing the newly developing agents. Yeah, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. This leak shows a significant expansion of the ATF. MLA News will continue to monitor the ATF's growth trajectory. So there's a couple things to hit here, okay? So number one, your own government is plotting against you. Okay, sorry, I shouldn't say that. Let's be a little bit more serious here. The thing that concerns me is that we have all of these new proposed rules, laws, restrictions that are coming into play, okay? And then they are seeing that they're ineffective, seeing that they are not getting the attention that they desire, because they always have to stay relevant so they can, get their funds from Daddy Gov and all of that. They're starting to throw in all these rules and proposals and restrictions, and they're looking at obviously frames and receivers as a big one. The braces is a big one. The pistol braces is a big one. And the more manpower they have, the better. But if you kind of look down this path a little bit, and if you say, okay, so they're saying they may take all privately manufactured firearms off the street and make them illegal, or even if they grandfather some and make make future ones illegal, if they take your right that was given to you by God and is supposed to be protected by the Constitution to not only build firearms within your home, and you were expected to be able to build firearms, have the means to build firearms, have the skills to build firearms, and other things as well. And they're saying that they're going to take these things from you, your privately manufactured firearms, your pistol braces, your rare breed triggers, your maybe binary triggers, maybe, whatever it is, your AR pistols, your AK pistols, Inter X here, whatever it is. They say that they're going to take these things from you. We have not heard an answer back on if they're going to pursue this or not. And then all of a sudden we start to see all these whispers of them wanting to double in size and space strategically placed offices all throughout the United States, with the majority of these hires being field officers. And then, of course, supporting those field officers with administrative staff and developmental officers and things like that. So if you heard that your enemy was going to attack, let me say it differently. If you were playing some type of strategic game and you heard that your enemy was going to come after you for something specific, and then as you're waiting and preparing to possibly see your enemy during this strategic game attack, you start to see them recruiting. You start to see them growing in size. You start to see whispers about them saying, hey, we're going to double in size, and then we're going to take new territory over here and new territory. We're going to start growing to where we are literally 100% larger, and we're going to place territory geographically, like strategically, geographically throughout the entire United States. Doesn't it sound like they may be preparing to enforce something in the near future? Maybe a year or 2 or 3 or 5, whatever it is. But it sounds like their strategy is starting to show a little bit. So I would be concerned, because they're saying, hey, we're going to take your pistol braces. We're going to take your frames and receivers and all your 80%. Anything between 0% and 100%, we're going to take. 4473. Barrels, slides, triggers, trigger packs, anything. 4473s for them all. And not only that, we're going to double in size, and we're going to strategically place offices geographically all throughout the United States of America. But we mean no harm. We're not going to do anything. Well, look at us. Look at this smile. Yeah. So I don't trust it. I think that it's a plan to put enforcers all throughout the United States so that they can enforce their tyrannical, draconian, ridiculous opinions, because these are not laws. These are not laws. At times, they try to hide things under the guise of law, like calling a semi automatic trigger a machine gun, because the law for a machine gun exists. So if the ATF's opinion places something in that category, I don't care what anybody says, I don't care what any other creator says, they're like, oh, you can go out, you can buy them all you want, buy them, buy them, buy them. Guess what? If you fuck around and find out, all right? That's all I'm going to say. Is it worth it? Is it really worth it? Most police probably wouldn't give a shit. Most police probably don't care. They probably don't even know what it is. They'll probably be like, rare breed, what? But if there is even a possibility that you could get, sent to the... that's probably a bad thing to call it. That you could get sent to the federal penitentiary, daddy daycare, for up to 10 years and up to $250,000 in fines, then why would it be worth it? Now, a lot of people are going to say, like, well, damn, Dark, like, no compliance. Like, that's it, bro. Like, shall not be infringed, Yeah, I feel you. And you also have to live within the society, right? You also have to, create a life and live your life, and you're here. You are in here. It's the same thing we talk about, like, people that hate money. We don't want to use money. Well, we're in a society that almost exclusively uses money to circulate and to continue. So, like, once you're in that cycle, that's it. You can hate it all you want, but you gotta live by those rules. Most people, they're gonna be quiet. They're gonna hide until it comes on their doorstep, and that could be too late. Some people are gonna jump too early. If they jump too early, and they'll sacrifice it all. And then others will sacrifice it all. And then others, and then others, and then others. And then soon it'll be, an all-out terrible thing happening. I should probably edit all of this out. Because the reality is that none of y'all know when the boog is going to pop off. And the boog is going to pop off when the first shot is fired. So I pray for y'all. I hope that this does not happen. And I'm also going to continue preparing every single day, no matter what. Regarding one other thing. I was told by a little birdie that the United States government may have something ready that is specifically for children between the ages of 5 and 11. Everyone has a line, okay? And I want you to really, really listen. Everyone has a line. And when that line is crossed, that book of matches has gone up in flames. There's nothing left but ashes and carbon. And so, don't do it. Don't do it. If you guys are doing these things, like, is bloodshed what you want? Like, I'm trying to make sense of it all, and I think it's actually what you desire. I mean, think about it. Nothing else would make sense. I don't know. Because at times I'm thinking, like, hey, they want us. They want us. Like, our generation. But for real, like, we'll fight. What's terrifying to think of is that they don't want us. They'll take us if they have to, but they don't want us. They want our kids. They want your kids, your daughter right now, your son right now. They want your kids, my kids. That ain't gonna happen. They're gonna be less likely to fight They're going to be more likely to be reliant upon the government to eat. They're going to be more docile. They're going to be more medicated. I mean, all this shit, like, I don't know. Sorry, this was just supposed to be about a leak. This is about a leak. This is all it's about. It's a leak, leaky leak. So, I appreciate you guys coming by. Sorry to get a little deep there for a moment, but this is shit that we got to think about. What does it look like? A strategic plan. What does this look like? It looks like they're planning for a raid. They're gearing up for a raid. If you saw, 6 to 10 ATF agents at 4:30 in the morning throwing on their plate carriers and charging their rifles and, checking their gear and all that, you'd be like, oh, they're prepping for a raid, because you know that pattern. This pattern is that pattern on a different scale. They're not prepping for a raid. They're prepping for raids. Anyway, I appreciate you all stopping by. Always make sure to like, subscribe, share. And if you could, cast it onto a TV. Make sure, share it with friends. Share it multiple times. Share it with yourself. Why not? Make sure you stop by places like JSD Supply. Use code DARK. Actually, if you are going to buy something from JSD Supply, hit me up, because I got an affiliate link, and you could give the channel a little channel support by using the affiliate link. But the way YouTube works, I can't use it in the description and all that. So if you want to save some money and help the channel, you can use code DARK. But if you really want to help the channel, you can actually use the affiliate link. So email me at thedarkestmavis@gmail.com. Also, Black Swan Tactical, our patches are available there, which I got one right here. So Black Swan Tactical, our patches are available there. And also make sure to go and support other content creators too. They got names like CRS, Hank Strange, Swamp Dog Armory, BWE Firearms, 2A, 4E. They got everybody over there. So go check them out. And remember, go sub to John Crump Live and John Crump News, because that's who gives us this information. Okay? I mean, basically, I almost quite literally read the article to y'all. So stay on your P's and Q's. Be kind. Make sure that you're becoming very skilled in violence, and practice it responsibly. Stay disciplined, and be safe, and be very, very dangerous. I'll see y'all. Peace.